up, we have will gate 21, which is biting through in the gate of the hunter or the huntress. It's part of tribal ego circuitry connecting to throat gate 45.
21's got such an incredible job. The opposition of 21, I believe, it's 48. 48, 21 are the opposition to one another. So this is the cross of tension as well. This gate is generally doesn't sit there and live out a life of tension, but it can, because it's got to be in control of its surroundings. There has to be a modicum of control it exerts on its house, the colors of the house, what the children are wearing, the food they eat, the things they will produce as a family, and the look they're going to have to the outside world, and the contributions they're going to make in the outside world. That all is under the purview of 21. Now think of and its control. 21 starts the Gestapo, and the police. Not that I want to bring that up that way, but that's 21 business. You might as well put squad car 21 on there instead of police on the cars that go by. It would make just as much sense to me. Oh, here come the 21s, run, or whatever it was.
Things.
Yeah, right. It's like, were you speeding? And I was just, okay, no, that's good. That 21 will drive right by. Don't you worry. That type of thing. The hunter and the huntress are these names that need to be there because the act of biting through whatever resistance might be in the way, and it's the justified and necessary use of whatever ego will force is going to come out to dissuade the deliberate and persistent interference of things, and especially others. So I added too many words on there, but that's
you're pretty close. It's gate 21 is the justified and necessary use of power in overcoming deliberate and persistent interference. You're right on. You're right there.
Yeah, and it's power. It releases. I mean, I dated a person at one point a number of years ago. They had gate 21 in the first and second line, and both of them basically are pointing to might is right, and the justified use of power is the true self. And when you just sort of give in a little bit and not throw that power out into the world, that's your not self of it. So 21 is designed to have a booming voice that asserts authority, and that's what bites through. And the reason of the hunter and the huntress is because it's just an analogy from, it wasn't all that long ago, we had to hunt to eat stuff. I mean, we've got a couple hundred years, barely, not even a couple hundred years. We've got barely 100 years now where we could only ever go to a refrigerator and no one even knew what it was like to hunt.
I mean, even less if you're talking about refrigeration. That's only less than 100.
You're right. So let's give it like 70 to 80 to 100 years type thing. Not long, not long at all. So for the other 75,000 years, or however long you want to go back, when the larynx dropped and we could articulate better, that was 80 or 90,000, something like that. Yeah. So from then till now, we had to hunt. And what happens when you go on a hunt? People die, or the village won't eat. So who's in control of that hunting party mattered. Gate 21 would bite through any resistance inside that hunting party, up to the point of, when we get back, we're going to put you on trial and you might hang for what you did at this hunting party. It's a big deal. Mm-hmm. So up to and including choices of life and death that it would have absolute rule and command over in that hunting party to make sure it does what the tribe does. The tribe is there to support its loyal members and bring them back home alive. Now, all the gates of the ego want to do that in some way, shape, or form, but 40 is like, hey, I'm busy working in the first place. And 26 and 21 will totally go together. 26 will beat the war drum, and 21 will say there is a war drum. And it's there. And 51 is like, I'm going to bounce out of here because I don't want to hear no war drum. And 40 is like, I'm working in the field. I'll feed you when you get back, But 21, that biting through, is a necessary component to the tribe. So that support isn't free. The sensitivity and the affection is not free. You don't get it for free. If you're a baby up to about the age of 5 or 6, okay, you get it for free. After that, it starts to have a cost, a tribal cost. Mm-hmm. So people always say, always honor your strategy and authority. Yeah, mostly. because when you're in the tribe, my strategy said, I don't want to. But sometimes the tribe says, I don't care. And so you got to pick your sacral self up if that's what's going on. You had a sacral hit that said, or whatever it is, or you're bitter about it, or you don't feel like doing it, or even if you're a manifestor and you want to say no. Most manifestors have some kind of ego. I shouldn't say most, but it seems common. Manifestors having an ego. But regardless, it doesn't matter strategy and authority in this one extent, because sometimes the tribe mandates we need your support. And so it didn't matter if you didn't feel like doing it. You're going to get up and do it. And you know what? You're not even going to mind, because you're going to get, even if you don't have a defined ego, you're still going to get that momentary ego good feeling. The ego people will carry it for days and have it as a robust part of their psyche and their whole way. But we'll still live that moment out with them before we leave their aura. And it feels good. It doesn't feel bad. It feels great. I love that ego high for the minute or two I get to experience it before I leave the aura. It does feel really good. And even if I didn't feel like doing it, I end up saying the same thing the ego people say. Well, I didn't really feel like doing it, but you know what? I feel really good about this accomplishment. Suddenly, I don't think I wasted my day anymore, because the ego, and usually the solar plex connected to it, brought the sensitivity and the affection and the love and the loyalty and the feeling of being supported through all of it. So of course I was there. 21 will demand that. So it's 21 is not about the spiritual, like, it can be very spiritual, don't get me wrong. It will paint the right colors on you during ceremony and all that good stuff. But don't give it a whole dissertation of, oh, everyone to their own kind. It's got to, love and peace on earth will mean that everyone is only their own way, and that's how we want to foster. No, you go be your own way. About 2 hours from now, right now, you are shoveling crap out of this barn, whether you like it or not, because that's what has to happen. And I did it yesterday, and it's got to get done here.
Yeah,
but I don't want to. Yeah, I see that. Do you want my voice to boom at you? Because you're giving me deliberate and persistent interference right now, and that's what 21 quells. It just quells it naturally. There was a point in time where the gal that I was dating, I essentially wouldn't dare cross her, mostly until sacral said in some profound way, and then it was a fight. And that's what led to, I remember our breakup came when I finally said to her, listen, I love you, but I totally love me more. And we were broke up within a month. I loved it. But all the time that 21 made me do stuff, and she had the 40, 37, now that I think of it. That affection paid me over and over again, now that I think of it. And as much as I didn't want to do this stupid thing, I felt good after I did the thing. 9 times out of 10. It started to wear out after a while, and it became 8 times out of 10 and 2 times out of 10 and no times out of 10. And that's when we finally broke up. But the point being, these were not wastes of time. 21 will tell you what to do. Sometimes you better listen.
Yeah, because sometimes in the tribe you have to do things you don't want to do for the sake of being in the tribe, and you'll get the other benefits of being in the tribe. Like you'll get that affection or protection or food or resources or whatever it might be. But yeah, sometimes you gotta, shovel out the barn.
Tribe comes first. We live in tribes. We don't live alone, and we don't live in the collective. We live in tribes. Community is a tribe. A family is a tribe. Little tribe, big tribe, medium tribe.
Extended family, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, sometimes you have to go to the wedding or the christening,
right?
Something that you don't want to go to. You have to go to the holiday thing. You have to see the family they don't like, and that weird uncle. It just, you have a place in the tribe, but know your place in the tribe, and the 21 will tell you what to do.
Yeah, and it will, and the whole tribal functioning will fit you into a place. You will fit yourself into a place inside the tribe, and so get used to that place, because there will be a place until you move on to the next gate and bounce on out of there.
Yeah, and that 21, the last thing I wanted to touch on is the 21 as like the resource manager of the tribe.
Totally.
The 21 is going to go to the 45, and that 21-45 is the king. It's the monarch kind of energy. And so the 21 is kind of managing what resources do we have for the 45 to then be able to hand it out.
And broadcast and teach the rest of the tribe how important it was that we had this stuff in the first place. 21 doesn't have the voice to teach it. 45 does, and express it and deliver that education to the tribe so that they know I mean, 45 says I canvas. That's its first line. And 21 says, yeah, well, I bite through and make sure you have the resources so that what you canvas is not a lie. And 26 says, well, I'll sell that. And 40 is like, well, I'll get to work making it. This is the widget factory, the tribal widget factory. These three gates, you put them together.
Yeah, it's resource manufacturing and engagement.
Yeah, absolutely. Just because 2121 doesn't make it right. We live in a world, doesn't mean it's correct. We live in a world where there's so much variety. It's not, we don't have the same, 8 things you got to do every single day like we had 100 years ago. Got to do those 8 things. Now now there's so much more and everything. So 21's needs is a little different than it used to be. So you do have to stand your ground where your strategy and authority actually kick in enough and start to tell you what to do. Just be sensitive to always, with your 21, be willing to relent a little more so than any other gate in the body graph. Just to tap your toe in the pool of relenting into the 21's demands, or whatever the 21's sort of looking at and doing the thing, just because they need that. So be sensitive, being sensitive to that need is handy. And if it happens on the 4th and 5th and 8th time, finally you put your foot down in some way, shape, or form. So that's how I would suggest all of that.